All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the true power with General Sarasun Seti. Kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. It's going down this Sunday, family. We're talking about the Olmec Voyages of the Nile and the Aboriginal Black Indian myth exposed. We got to go to work. We starting the year all right. Saying, the Cro-Magnon Neanderthal, New Year all right with that none but fire. So click that link in the video description in the chat. Click that link, begin to think. Don't you hesitate to elevate. I'm excited and delighted to be accepting members to the Sarah Sunseti YouTube page, a dynamic page. Y'all know what it is. Black power, black frequency. You're feeling that frequency and energy. You should most definitely join. Link right in the video description. Right in the chat, click it. You'll get a video introduction rundown on the memberships, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join. Even if you don't, I appreciate your presence at the Sarah Sunseti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. Ring the alarm, kingseti.com, online marketplace, official general Sarah Sunseti DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor accessories for every room in the house. We got you. 25% off selected items at this time. Shop and save and shop. That's right, family. Pull the fire alarm, generalseti.com, SETI University. We talking about over 1,500 videos of nothing but pure heat fire. That's what we got. That's all we got is fire. And not only that, we got the supplemental, also monumental and instrumental research material from the grandmasters. I got their lectures, the fire lectures from the grandmasters and all the subjects. I give you an overview, 360-degree overview of all the material, giving you academic wisdom and knowledge that cannot be surpassed by any other website on the planet. Get over there today. Don't you hesitate. Everybody knows SETI popping on Patreon, dropping nuclear bombs on Patreon. We got over 400 exclusive live streams only to be seen on Patreon. You get a chance to see the general live. Of course, that is the biggest perk. This is a live presentation or platform. And what you haven't seen is on deck. You can go and see all the 400 videos depending on what tier you belong to. So get over there to Patreon today. All the family that donated to the general, I thank you. I appreciate the fact you appreciate me. Any of the family out there that would like to donate to the general, the link in the video description in the chat, click that link, donate. I thank you ahead of time. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarah Soon Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends and comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because I will bam your ass. Nah, here we go, man. It just like, they always invent some poison for a nigga to get high with. And so in Africa, they got a new drug. They call it Kush. Okay? Now, this ain't the Kush that you niggas go down there and get at the dispensary. No. This some different kind of Kush. You cannot get a motherfucker to tell you what they make it from. Because they don't know. They say motherfuckers just show up at the village with the shit already made. And they give it to motherfuckers, and motherfucker be high as hell, nodding out and shit all, and you know what I'm saying? And the crazy, thank you, family. And the crazy shit is that they mix this shit with bones, human bones. I say, man, now I don't know if it's mythology. I don't know. They took a reporter to the cemetery and they show where the bones is missing that whole bodies has been dug up out of the damn grave. And they saying that whatever the concoction is, they mix the remains of dead people, bones, in the hookup. And niggas sitting up here smoking and this, that, and the third. Nah, like I said, I don't know, because they not even telling you what's in it, but it is fucking people up because they high, all and this is when you're in poverty. See, this what happens. Our people fall into that game. They fall into that where they depressed. And motherfuckers is doing whatever they can to pass time and shit. This is what they do. That's what happens when you, like I say, when you're impoverished. And so, yeah, they didn't invented a new, and it's just like when we watch motherfuckers over here with all this synthetic shit, and this is the age of that. They ready to get motherfuckers up off the planet. They ready to get up, and so nigga, them niggas got enough nerve to be over there smoking some shit, and they don't even know what the fuck is made out of. All of it is synthetic, and quite possibly have bones in it. And so that don't even sound right, nigga. That like, nigga, you smoking disease. You could, you know what I'm saying? These people, they call it zombie weed. Yeah, that's beyond zombie. Yeah, them motherfuckers, yeah. Yeah, them motherfuckers on some necrophilia shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, these motherfuckers, yeah, they on some real crazy shit. And like, and to not know what the fuck is made out of. You just, motherfucker just show up at the gate and just drop the shit down and say, here you go. Here you go. And motherfuckers, that distribute it, they ask them, they don't know. They don't know what it is. But you could best believe, that, you can see the way that, they nod. You could tell, you don't, it might be because they're using a lot of shit out here today. They got that, they're using tranquilizers, horse tranquilizer. I see they call that shit trank. You see, motherfuckers is out here doing it, and motherfuckers got to know, as I read that shit, they cutting that shit with damn near everything. So when they get a cut, it don't make no difference if it's heroin, whether it's cocaine, whether it's pills, and they cutting that shit with trank. They was using the that they was using and the fentanyl. But the fentanyl, they probably, the fentanyl been out there for a while, so they didn't got used to it. You know what I'm saying? And you can't have them get used to it. Motherfuckers ain't, so they had the hype. They need to put that hype in it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they came with the trank. And the trank is fucking motherfuckers up. It fuck with your veins and shit and the blood circulation and shit. And where people's is getting, might have to get their damn legs and shit amputated and shit. Yeah, that's what they saying that trank do. It fucks up your blood circulation and all that shit, your veins and shit. And people have to get they limbs cut off, fingers and shit and all of that. And they cutting that shit, they putting that shit in everything. And you thinking, you getting weed, they putting that shit, man, listen here, man, what I'm telling y'all, you have to watch even who growing that weed. Because today is so, it's an in-house thing today. They growing that shit in all type of factory buildings and shit, this, that, and the third, and they doing it no different than anything else. They can put that shit right on in the water, in the fertilizing process. They can do that. They can do that. And so, best believe you have to check that. Some of that shit so strong and so goddamn powerful, you know? And and people talking about that weed ain't motherfucking addicting. Why it ain't? Try to quit that shit, motherfucker. And see what happened. Your ass, yeah, you motherfucker be in there just head hurting and shit and all that shit. You understand? It throw a motherfucker in the tailspin. You know what I'm saying? So they lie to people and tell you that this, and that sets you up even further. You understand? To go deeper and deeper and deeper into that shit. You know? Deeper and deeper and deeper into, you don't know what the fuck is going on today in any of that shit. It's all synthetic. It's all synthetic. You don't and even the weed, and that's the illusion that somehow you might get some good. Now you might get some good shit. You might. But how do you know when you're not getting it? Well, how do you know when somebody didn't put something in the water and shit that you growing it in? And shit, and when you hit it, nigga, it's gonna be green. It ain't you ain't, but it's gonna be deep down in the essence of it. You know what I'm saying? Hit your ass so hard, you be like, God damn, I ain't never had nothing like this before. After a while, you get used to it. You know what I'm saying? Don't hit you as hard. It don't hit you as hard. So that's when they had to come in there with something to hype that shit up. You know, that's when they had to come in. And they see that Africa is growing. They see Africa is growing and exponentially. Out of just people everywhere, and they've already issued proclamations that the world has too many people. If and it's not enough resources for the amount of people that's on the planet. So that means somebody got to go. That's why they took them damn them so-called whatever them stones that was down there in Georgia. It had the 500 million on it. That's all they wanted. That's all they needed was 500 million people on the planet. Now that's a lot of people to get rid of because you got over 8 billion people on the planet. And so you talking about getting rid of 7 billion and 500 million people to reach that quota of 500,000. How you going to do it? You ain't gonna just bomb, you ain't gonna just bomb them to death. You ain't gonna just, you have to find, subversive ways of pulling that off, and one of the major ways is, the Georgia guidelines. Yeah, one of the major ways in doing that is subversively putting it in shit. The water fucked up. You understand? They talk about the water all the time. And so you getting all type of shit in your water. Whoever down at that damn that's right. Whoever down at the water treatment plant, they putting that shit right on in the water. You know what I'm saying? So you think about that. And they fucking up, but all this shit fucked up. All this water fucked up. It ain't just one city, it's a whole lot of cities because they haven't replaced the piping. And when the last time have you seen them replace the piping? They ain't replaced no goddamn piping nowhere. They ain't replaced the piping no motherfucking where. In Detroit, like I say, when like when I go in the basement, right? And normally, yeah, I don't even turn that unless it's summertime. I got a couple of sinks down there, and I can open the window up, and I can put I can bring my water hose in there, and then I can clean my basement out, and and this, that, and the third. But if you don't use it during the winter and you turn it on, matter of fact, it won't even, it got to bust through the goddamn faucet first. It's like it don't even come on. Cause it's so much rust in the goddamn pipes over the winter that it didn't, you know what I'm saying? So you had to leave it on for a minute, and then the pressure busts through, and then you can hear it start to sputter, and then some water will come through. You understand? And as it started to come through, you could see it's red from the rust and shit. You see what I'm saying? You can see it, and you let it run, and eventually, yeah, it will run clear. But nevertheless, understand that a lot of them, them pipes, just like when they yeah, they man, they should they they didn't let it, just like, a lot of these houses and shit. Uh had that, back in the day, they had that damn what they call plaster. And for the walls, the day they put up, the what's they call that? But back in the day, they had that plaster on the wall. You could just take your money and just peel that shit out. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of shit that they thanks family. A lot of that shit that they use in in the old days, all that shit is now poisonous. You know what I'm saying? Everything that they using. So a lot of them rusty ass pipes and shit, they ain't changed. And then you gotta think, even if they change them motherfuckers on the street, depending on how old, yeah, lead paint, yeah, yeah, asbestos in that old, and yeah, and that's real. But I remember when they had that shit, that plaster, and some of them goddamn houses, they ain't changed. Shit, they ain't got all this. If you still staying in them old ass houses, and and for some of them, the house might still look good. So it don't mean, it's old, but I'm talking about and how they constructed the house. You know what I'm saying? And so even if they change the pipes on the street, they ain't changed the pipes leading to the house. You know what I'm saying? And anytime, like when it flood and shit, you know what I'm saying? And it flood and all, that shit ain't supposed to end up like that, because, when the flood and it bring all the sewage and shit in there, that shit, that's dangerous, man. They supposed to come in your house and shit. You flood and the house flood is devastating, because ain't nothing but sewer water and all that shit. But, and so, that alone, you know what I'm saying? They supposed to been, got rid of them, that lead piping and shit and all that. Nah, they using the PVC, they using the plastic a lot of times today, but that shit can sweat. It can sweat. It can sweat, and so it could be chemicals that bleed out of that plastic. If it get to sweating, if it get to sweating, the poisons that's in the plastic can sweat into the water and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you're dealing with. That's what you're dealing with all the way around. This is a synthetic society. It's a synthetic society, in anything, they ain't ready to rebuild this shit, because they should have been working on this infrastructure a long time ago. They should have been working on this infrastructure a long time ago. They way behind the goddamn 8 ball on this shit. They should have been trying to, they should have been replacing the goddamn infrastructure damn near 30 years ago. And so, a lot of these larger cities, they old, and motherfucking buildings just falling down because they old. And so, and that's the reality of it. And these motherfuckers spending all this money over here, the bridges, that's another thing that they not talking about. They had to fortify a lot of these bridges. Even under Obama, they gave this motherfucking country, they tested this country on its infrastructure, its roads, its bridges, all of that. And it got a D. It got a D. They saying you got to, them goddamn bridges, they falling down. It's going to be a whole lot. It's going to surprise the shit out because that's what they saying, that the bridges is not stable. Like they said, them older bridges, they got to go in there and fortify that shit. You know what I'm saying? These trucks and shit, big ass truck, been rolling over these bridges for so long that they didn't move them. They didn't move them. Yeah, they didn't move them, they didn't move they didn't move the columns under them damn bridges and shit, and cracks all in the motherfuckers and shit. Got to redo that. But that just to say that, they don't, they trying to get rid of a lot of our people on the planet. And they know that, if a motherfucker is without a future, and it's a dismal society, a lot of times people is going to resort to getting high. That's what they're going to do. Getting drunk, getting high. And they know that, people care less about a motherfucker that's on, that's on the bottom. They going to say, oh, he OD'd or something like that. They don't give a fuck. He OD'd. That's all they going to say. He OD'd. She OD'd. Take you on down to the morgue. And that's a wrap. And the more they could do, they could do that, it is going to be more successful for them. So, because they want the land in the best way. But that's a lot of people to get rid of. That's a lot of people to get rid of in Africa. That's a lot of people to get rid of. Even in some of these cities, it's a lot of people to get rid of. And so they are looking, but they know every time that they try to do some shit on us, it always backfire on them. Every time. They thinking they gonna put something on us and their own children end up taking it. Some of the biggest crackheads was them white people. You understand what I'm saying? They got just as addicted. They thought they was gonna put it on us. They thought they was gonna take it to our community, and that's where it was gonna stay. But it went all to what, goddamn it, they was smoking crack in the White House. Yeah, 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 yeah. My dad, man, my dad, is a contractor. You know what I'm saying? So we'll make the concrete and mix it together and this, that, and the third, man. That was some hard work, man. I remember I used to work out there with my dad. Yeah, fentanyl is their thing, but see, that fentanyl ain't knocking motherfuckers back like it used to. That fentanyl was a bad motherfucker, but they chasing that shit with fentanyl and trank. That damn tranquilizer shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that trank with the fentanyl. So you probably doing damn near 60% of the shit is fentanyl and crank. You think you are in whatever you think you doing, it probably got you probably ain't got nothing but a little tiny percentage of that in there, even though that's what they say it is. And then you motherfucker, you doing crank. I mean trank. You might as well call it crank. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Lay a motherfucker ass out for days. You know what I'm saying? You look and you can see motherfuckers just out. I can't understand how people in a society like that see people all up and down these streets, high, fucked up. And it just, that don't make no sense with the kind of money that this country got. It just don't make no sense. They supposed to pull down on that goddamn street with nothing but trucks and shit and get them people up, take their ass straight to the hospital and put their ass in there and get them together. I wouldn't even let their ass out of there until they together. put their ass up in there and make sure that they together and run the operation like it's supposed to be ran. We can't have a lot of suicide wards and shit like you motherfuckers. They ran back in the 50s and 60s where they took all so-called mental facilities, and they was like some of the most deranged institutions, all type of demons in that motherfucker. They be going to a lot of them old hospitals where they was performing, all the mental ill, and say it's all type of wicked demons in that motherfucker. A lot of these YouTubers be going there just to, sleep in there at night and see who in there and shit. And them be some demented because of so much pain and so much trauma and so much insanity that went on up in them motherfuckers. You see, so much demented shit that then went on up in there. But to see people out on the street like that, knowing that, it's just a demoralizing look, even for people that ain't even on the block, ain't even engaging in that. But when they look on YouTube and, a lot of YouTube videos, they go down these streets and you see people just high in the street as if they don't even care about hiding. They not even shamed, but they don't even try to hide the fact that they out there high, nodding and shit in the middle of the street, risking their life. And there's no major push. They go there every day, and whole areas is just saturated with all type of dope fiends and shit, and this, that, and the third. And this country don't do nothing to try to help them people, to clean them up. Matter of fact, they encouraging them by, still pushing that dope up in the city where they can continue to shoot that shit in their veins, continue the disaster of humanity, and then let people record this shit and put it on, on YouTube and shit. It just every day. What the fuck is wrong with the government where they allow that to happen? They're supposed to bust that up. Not in a bad way, but get them all up off the street. They got to go. You got to get them somewhere in the hospital so they can get some treatment. Where's that at? You got tent cities all over the goddamn country. Now I know some motherfuckers is it's their responsibility to do as much as they can. But you got hundreds of thousands of people, literally millions. You have literally millions of people that's homeless in the United States. Millions. Because when you think about these cities, man, it's just tent cities everywhere. Tent motherfucking cities everywhere. They got vending machines for paraphernalia, needles, pipes, and that you can just go up there like you getting a goddamn candy bar, a pack of cigarettes, and go on and get you a crack pipe. Get you a motherfucking crack pipe right out the damn vending machine. Yeah. Well, they know they can clean that. They clean that other shit up too when they want to. If it's something going down, they'll clean it up. If it's like, I noticed when they places be having the Olympics come in, they clean that shit up. They get them up off of there. They get them up off of there. They get them up out there, and they put them in they put them in something. Then they'll have facilities. They get them up off of there and get them somewhere. But when it comes to that, they got to answer. So now, to smoke some shit with some human bones in it is demented to me. Our people's is, and if you that goddamn high that nothing else matters and shit, that to where you can smoke bones, we have to move in, and we have to do whatever we can to keep this type of shit from reaching our people and reaching in the country. Even if it means giving motherfuckers hard so much time for the smallest shit in Africa. That's just it, man. You just got to shut it down. You can't keep making excuses. It's destroying the people. You see, and you're desecrating, and it just seems so. This is why they say, motherfuckers is backwards and shit. Not that because it's true, but the fact that now with so many, fallen and trodden Africans that do anything, and don't you know you smoking bones? Oh, I don't give a fuck. Give me a lighter. I need to fire this shit up. They don't care. They don't motherfucking care or what the fuck it is or what the fuck is going on. And when you that way and you in that state of mind, then you got a very dangerous situation on your hands. You got a very, very dangerous situation on your hands. Okay. And so I'm gonna be looking into this and I'm gonna see if I can find out what it is. I'm quite sure that it ain't totally unique. It's very probably similar to a lot of shit that's already being used around the world. I'm probably sure that we know it's synthetic. We know it's synthetic, and then adding the element, of bones in it, give it a and they gonna say dark magic. They're gonna say black magic as if it's something evil. Black is something evil and shit. That's what they're gonna say. But yeah, they be nodding out just like them motherfuckers on, you see up there in Philadelphia and in other places. But that's like the most visually reckless street as far as people just out all it's just out there in the middle of the street hitting the needles in their arms without a Kensington. That and I didn't even when I was in Philadelphia the last time, it was bad, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It was bad, but it wasn't that bad. It didn't just the bottom just didn't fell out. It didn't fell out now. So family, be careful out there, whatever, they lacing all this shit out here. Every drug, and be careful of the weed, because they believe me. Believe me. This is a wicked world. And whatever they think they could do to keep a motherfucker coming back and back and back, they'll add some shit to the water. So and you growing, and believe me, don't you dare take that as a joke. It's real. All right, family, this is General Sarah Soon said. He's saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.